On behalf of New Zealand, I want to express sincere apologies to Grace's family. Your daughter should have been safe here, and I'm deeply sorry that she wasn't. Grace Emmy Rose Millane was born in Essex, England, in 1996 to parents David and Gillian. She was the youngest of three siblings, with two older brothers, Michael and Declan. Grace was known for being sociable, lively, family-oriented, and passionate about creative pursuits. After studying advertising and marketing at the University of Lincoln, Grace graduated and was eager to embark on a new adventure before settling into her career. She saved up for a year-long backpacking trip and set off in October 2018. Described by friends as compassionate and caring, Grace donated her long hair to the Little Princess Trust to make wigs for children with cancer before leaving home. Her journey took her through Peru and South America, where she met fellow travelers and regularly shared updates with her family back home. On November 19th, Grace, then 21, arrived in New Zealand. 11 days later, she reached Auckland and checked into the base backpackers hostel on Queen Street, sharing a room with other travelers. On Saturday, December 1st, 2018, Grace left the hostel around 6 p.m., dressed in a black knee-length dress, white shoes, and a small handbag, to meet someone she had connected with on Tinder. Although initially hesitant, Grace agreed to meet her date for drinks after some conversation. They met at Sky City, a large entertainment complex with restaurants, bars, and a casino. Grace texted her friend Amina back home saying, "I click with him so well. He's an oil manager and lives in a hotel." The evening seemed to be going well. Later, they moved to the Bluestone Room Bar, where her date was seen rummaging through Grace's handbag at one point. At around 9:30 p.m., Grace and her date were seen leaving the bar together, arm in arm. The following day, Sunday, December 2nd, was Grace's 22nd birthday. Her family and friends reached out with messages and social media posts, but Grace didn't respond, and her phones went straight to voicemail. Her brother, Declan, noted this as unusual, given how excited she had been about the trip and her routine updates. Concerned, Grace's parents contacted Auckland police, who began their investigation on December 5th. Police inquiries revealed that Grace had not returned to her hostel that night, though her belongings were still there. Initially, there was no suspicion of foul play. However, thanks to extensive CCTV footage around the city, investigators quickly identified the man Grace was last seen with. Her Tinder date was 26-year-old Jesse Kempson, who was staying at the City Life Hotel in Auckland. Jesse had previously posted on Facebook, apologizing for mistakes and claiming he was trying to improve his life. Born in Wellington, Jesse had a turbulent family background, having moved several times after his parents separated. Known as a habitual liar, he had fabricated stories about his life, claiming to be related to a famous rugby player, and even that he was dying of cancer. His life had been punctuated by job losses and evictions due to these lies. Jesse's landlord at the City Life Hotel believed he was a top manager for Woolworths, but in reality, his rent was covered by state benefits. Jesse's last job in telephone sales had ended the same day he met Grace due to yet another instance of dishonesty. When police reached out to Jesse on December 5th, he came to the station for questioning. He claimed that their date ended pleasantly, with a hug, a kiss on the cheek, and plans to meet again the following day. He explained that Grace had unmatched him on Tinder, and they had parted ways around 10 p.m. However, further CCTV footage told a different story. Grace and Jesse were seen entering the City Life Hotel together and taking the lift to Jesse's floor. Grace was never seen leaving. On her birthday morning, Jesse left the hotel to buy a suitcase, cleaning supplies, and later rented a red Toyota Corolla. That day, he also met another Tinder date, who later reported that Jesse spoke disturbingly about burying bodies and made her so uncomfortable that she left immediately. He was later seen renting a carpet cleaner, explaining it was to clean up red wine stains. Around 9:30 p.m., Jesse was captured on CCTV loading 2 suitcases onto a trolley and placing them into the rental car. Early the next day, he bought a shovel and, a few hours later, was spotted power washing the rental car before returning it. On December 5th, the day Grace was reported missing, Jesse was seen dumping items in various bins around the city. That same day, police arrived at the City Life Hotel looking for him, only to find Jesse himself returning to the hotel at that moment. As soon as he spotted the police, he quickly turned and walked in the opposite direction, avoiding eye contact. Noticing his behavior, officers immediately pursued him, leading to his questioning. Though Jesse denied any involvement, the police proceeded with a thorough search of his hotel room. The case of missing British backpacker Grace Millane took a significant turn. On December 7th, Grace's father, David, made an emotional public appeal, asking for help. "I'm David Millane, Grace's dad. Thank you for coming today. Grace has been missing for several days, and we last had contact on Saturday, December 1st. Grace is a lovely, fun-loving daughter who always keeps in touch. She arrived here on November 20th and has been sending us countless photos and messages of her adventures. We're extremely concerned for her welfare." The investigation was progressing quickly. Though the police didn't publicly name Jesse, they confirmed he was a person of interest. The lack of updates on Grace's safety heightened public concern, and the police expressed grave concerns for her well-being. On December 8th, with mounting evidence, Jesse was taken into custody for further questioning. His story took a drastic turn as he began to speak. During his questioning, Jesse mentioned that the encounter involved rough sex, implying it was consensual. At first, it was just normal, he said, explaining that Grace had mentioned interests similar to those portrayed in 50 Shades of Grey. He claimed she asked him to hold her throat, which led to her tragic death, but his recollection was hazy. "I went into the shower. Then I just remember falling asleep," he said. "When I woke up and saw her, I panicked." Jesse admitted to placing Grace's body in a suitcase and burying her in a nearby wooded area, but maintained that it was an accident. The forensic examination of Jesse's room revealed traces of Grace's blood, supporting the investigators' suspicion of foul play. With Jesse's confession, the police began searching for Grace along Scenic Drive near the Waitakere Ranges. Around 4 p.m., officers discovered her body, concealed near the road. In response, New Zealand Police Inspector Scott Beard expressed condolences. "Our hearts go out to the Millane family. This is a terrible outcome, and we share in the grief of Grace's family and friends." The nation mourned the loss, and many held vigils for Grace. New Zealand Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern publicly apologized to Grace's parents, saying, "Your daughter should have been safe here, and I am truly sorry for that." Jesse Kempson was formally charged with murder on December 10th, just 5 days after Grace was reported missing. At trial, his defense claimed the incident was a tragic accident that took place during consensual rough sex. However, the prosecution provided substantial evidence that Grace's death was intentional, describing it as a labyrinth of lies orchestrated by Jesse to cover his tracks. The jury deliberated for just 5 hours before finding Jesse Kempson guilty of murder on December 22, 2019. He was sentenced to life imprisonment with a minimum of 17 years. In a statement, Grace's mother shared her anguish expressing the pain and loss that Grace's family will carry with them forever. In the aftermath, more women came forward with stories of abuse at Jesse's hands. He was tried and found guilty on multiple charges, receiving additional prison sentences that would run concurrently with his life sentence for Grace's murder. To honor Grace's memory, her family started the Love Grace campaign, gathering donations for women fleeing abusive relationships. In her memory, they have raised over PS 11,000 for the White Ribbon Campaign, a charity working to end male violence against women. Links to these resources can be found in the description box below.